In the standard system, a controllable system message is shown when a user creates a purchase order with the delivery date in past. What must you configure to follow such purchase order to only be issued by authorized, spelling mistake is there, by authorized users? So I will again explain you that what has been asked. Okay, by the time you can type your answers in the chat, I am already receiving the answers in the chat. No answer yet. Okay. So type your answer in the chat. By the time I will explain what exactly this question is saying. So this question is saying, in a standard system, a user create a purchase order with the delivery date in past. Okay, where the delivery date is in past. So generally, if you put a delivery date in past, there would be, system would not stop you. Okay. So system is saying here that the delivery date in the past should be given to the authorized user. If person A and B, they are creating a purchase order, they would be allowed with delivery date past. But other C, D, E user, if they are putting delivery date past, they should receive an error. So what kind of configuration you will do for this scenario? So again, I will explain. You are creating a purchase order, delivery date is in past. Okay, system is asking that delivery date past would be error for all of the user, but certain user who has a particular authorization, let's say the manager, they would be able to create a purchase order with the delivery date in past. Okay, so answers are copy of the system message to a new version with the version parameter MSV, copy to the message to a new version with the error message and assign it to the non-authorized MSV. So multiple answers are there. Let me check what answer you have given it to me over the chat. Some people say A, some people say it's B. So let's see. So before I explain you, it talk about user parameter MSV. In the another question explanation, I have also explained about the another user parameters and how that configuration can be used to provide a specific solution to a business, right? So the idea is not here to only get the answer to the certification question. Idea is here to get the concept. So let's go to our mind map. So here we have a user parameters. So EVO and EFP I have explained in the another video. I have explained how EVO need to be used and how EFP need to be used. So now the MSV, how the use can happen for the MSV parameter. So MSV parameter you would be using if you want a error message for a specific users. Okay, error message which need to be used for a specific users. If you want to do it, you can use the MSV user parameter. So this user parameters would be assigned to user ID in SU01. Against the user ID, the particular parameter with the value would be assigned, and that would be controlling a specific thing and the controls the user authorizations, right? So let's see what we need to do here. So to achieve that scenario where if the past date is there, some users would be having authorizations, some would not be having authorizations. Okay, please be on mute. I would give you the authorized to ask the question once I explain it. So one of them is, first thing we need to do, we need to create a copy version of existing message. So in the previous section, we have seen this configuration, right? Where basically we want to control the authorization for contract to purchase order release, right? Under the materials management, under our materials management, under purchasing, under environment data, we have a defined attributes of system messages. Here you will find a message here, ME039, delivery date in past, and in general its category would be W. I also explained that if you want to do for the specific people or for the specific regions users, if you want to control it, make it error, and the another should be having a warning. So how it need to happen, that has been that I'm going to explain it now. So delivery date in past is there as a warning, right? So the one answer can be that here I can change it to E, error, right? If I will change it to error, again it would be changed for everyone for error. So nobody would be able to create a purchase order with the delivery date in past. But what we want to do, we want to create a purchase order with delivery date in past, but for the specific authorized users need to do it. So how to do that? Let's check that. So how to do that? So what we need to do, you need to copy this ME, okay, copy the version of this ME, and then you need to create a new version here. So you can see here, a new version has been created, and I have given the version name here, ZZ. Sorry. ZZ is the version name. So this has been copied from here, and then I have given a version ZZ. ZZ with ME039 is E. So now you will be having a two entries. One entry is only ME is W, warning, and with version ZZ, ME is E, right? So what will happen with this combination? With this combination, what is going to happen? This version, we would be able to assign in the parameter MSV, and when you will be assigning parameter for MSV, system would be throwing an error, right? So now you need to maintain a user parameters MSV. You can directly maintain in SU01, or here also you would be having an option when you define attribute system messages. Here also we have a maintain user is there. So you can go to the maintain user, and here you would be able to assign your parameter MSV and the value which you have defined ZZ. So for user Parminder, MSV ZZ has been assigned. So what does that mean? That means if Parminder will try to create with delivery date pass, it will throw an error. Okay. So what you need to do it, all the users you restricted, you ask by default MSV ZZ should be there. And the user who should be having authorization, they should not have the MSV assigned to it. So what will happen to Parminder when the MSV and ZZ is assigned? So what is going to happen? When the purchase order will try to create a purchase order, it will give the error delivery date is in past. Okay, you can see here, it will be throwing an error that delivery date is in past. Why this error is coming? Because I have assigned a user parameter. That's why the error is there. If I will remove the user parameter, then error will not be there. So what does that mean? That this configuration need to be done, and the parameters, you need to think about correctly that parameter need to be assigned to the authorized users or to the unauthorized user. That is the key. There is basically people are giving wrong answers here. So let's go back. Copy of the system message to a new version, set it as an error message, and assign the version to the user parameter MSV to authorized message users. Authorized user, you will assign the error. What will happen? They will not be able to create it. Error will come. Copy the system message to a new version, set it as an error message, and assign the version with user parameter MSV to non-authorized users. So if you will assign to non-authorized user this parameter, then it would be blocking. Blocking their access. Okay. So the non-authorized users should be assigned it. The authorized user should not be assigned. So the correct answer for this would be B. Let me check if B is the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is B. Okay. So this is how the user parameters can play a role. There's one more video in the TS452 certification preparation on the user parameters, which talks about the another two user parameters which has been defined in the mind map. Umesh has a question. What is the business scenario where we have to create the PO with delivery date in the past? Very good question, Umesh. I have missed it. Thanks for asking it. So what would be the business scenario? Okay, let me ask you first, you people. What would be the business scenario where you need to create a PO with delivery date in past? Can anyone tell me what kind of business scenario can be there? where the PO need to be created with the delivery date in past? Anyone? Any idea? What kind of scenario would be there? No, right? Okay. No one has idea. Let me explain. So what is going to happen, Umesh, that in some cases you have informed a vendor. Okay. I have an answer for regularizing where items were delivered. For regularizing where items were delivered earlier. Okay. Okay. Yes, that can be also the reason that where the items were delivered earlier, but you would not be able to do the. You would be able to create the POs, but you will not be able. But that's the right answer. Yes, that's the right. That's one of the right answer. So what can happen that due to some reasons you was not able to create a purchase order, right? And you have informed your vendors and suppliers to provide the products to you. Okay, and the information has been sent to them prior. You have sent it with the emails you have sent it to them, or there can be also a contingency process which you have followed, and with that contingency process you have, with the required approval, you have created a manual PO in a Word format, and you have send it to your supplier. So let's say a cyber attack came to you, right? And with that cyber attack, your ERP system has been stopped with the ransomware attack. And then you went into your business resiliency plan, or you went into your business continuity plan. And with the business continuity plan, you created a purchase order manually with the manual format, and you have given to the vendor. Vendor has provided you material, or vendor has not provided you material. That the thing is in the other thing. But now when you are actually punching the data in, your delivery date would be in past, because in actual purchase order you have given delivery date is in past, and you don't want to mention the today's delivery date. You don't want to mention the today's delivery date. You want to mention the actual delivery date, which has been mentioned in the purchase order, or which has been informed to your vendor. That date you want to mention it. So for that reason, it would be required, and there would be also impact if that date you will not be putting it correctly. If you want your OTIF, on time in full delivery scores, will also get impacted. Okay, so let's say you have informed to the vendor that it need to be come 1 week before, the purchase order is not in the system, but the material came today, and you are actually now putting the purchase order in the system. If purchase order date is today and the receiving is also happening today, your vendor would be getting a score of 100, right? But actually he should be getting a score of 20 or 30, because he's actually delivering it with the 1 week of delay, right? So for that purpose, you would like to mention the delivery date as a past and the good receipt date as a today. So that can be some scenarios where basically to regularize the earlier delivered, the material has been already delivered, but the PO has not been issued. To control that stuff, it has been given that the PO can be created with the past delivery date. There can be some more scenarios also. As of now, these couple of things comes on top of my mind.